and welcome back to the PhatPhish Guitar Studio. I wasn't planning on shooting any videos today, but the weather is absolutely dreadful, so nothing better to do. I thought I'd come into the studio and just shoot a little tutorial. One of those things I do every so often where I can just show you how to play something and give you an idea for something you can perhaps take away, take some of the ideas, perhaps build on it and incorporate it into your own playing, your own compositions, and give you a couple of tips about how to kind of work out what key something's in so you understand it a bit better, and that helps you to build on it. Okay, so basically it's just a simple little arpeggiated chord progression, something I've been just picked up the guitar the other day and I was noodling around with. So I'll play it through and then we'll talk about what notes are involved in it. Okay, so really simple picking pattern with it, and all just played on the middle 4 strings. We start off with basically an F sharp power chord, or if you saw the video I posted, what would have been last week, it's an F sharp diad. F sharp, C sharp, and F sharp. So just on the 4th string at the 4th fret, the 3rd string at the 6th fret, and the 2nd string at the 7th fret. And we're playing that over an A bass note, which is just the open A string. And the picking pattern is just basically down and up across those strings. So 5th string, 4th string, 3rd string, 2nd string, 3rd string, and 4th string. That's the first figure. Then we go to play basically the same chord, but instead of playing it over an A bass note, we're going to play it over a D bass note. So I'm bringing my middle finger down at the 5th fret on the 5th string, the A, and then it's the same pattern through. And I just really like the way that moves. We've got the same chord but with a changing bass note. Yeah. The next chord is an E power chord, an E diad. So we're taking that F sharp shape and moving it down by 2 frets, 2 semitones, to give us an E at the 2nd fret on 4th string, a B at the 4th fret on the 3rd string, and another E at the 5th fret on the 2nd string. Again, I'm going to play that with an A in the bass note, so you can think of this as being an E diad over an E5 chord over an A bass note. And what I wanted to do was repeat the pattern of bringing the bass note up by a few notes. So in the first example I went from A to D. I've moved the whole shape down by 2 semitones, but if I take the bass note down by 2 semitones I get to a C. Now this actually doesn't sound too bad. Sounds a bit dark, so I'll just play that whole thing through. It's got a bit of a tension to it, but it's not the feel I was going for. I wanted something a bit more major key, a little bit more upbeat. So thinking about the first chord that I played, it had an F sharp, C sharp in it. That C sharp and the C natural are unlikely to be together in the same key. So what I'd do for the second chord, instead of playing it over a C bass note, I play it over a C sharp. Now this is a little bit difficult to get your fingers round, particularly if you're used to like a thumb over the top of the neck playing style with your fretting hand. Sometimes you're the classic blues positions with your thumb over the top of the neck, but sometimes you need to bring your hand around so your thumb is kind of like running in a line along the back of the neck. So if you've got a guitar with like a skunk stripe, you know, kind of your thumbs running down the line of that skunk stripe, and by doing that it brings your fingers of your fretting hand around the front of the fingerboard a little bit more, and you've got better reach. Really difficult for bending like that, but it gives you some better reach and better stretch with your fretting hand. Let's say it's a little bit awkward, but with a little bit of practice, you should be able to find you can bring your middle finger down onto the C sharp. Give you that. And that gives us this. Yeah, that's got a happier sound to it. It's all diatonic, so there's no awkward tensions there by bringing in outside notes. Diatonic meaning, you know, notes that belong to the key that you're playing in. And once I've shown you the progression and how to play it, we'll talk a little bit about the analysis of it and what notes are in there, and how you can work out the key and how you can take it beyond where it is. Okay, so that's the first pattern, just that descending dyad with different bass notes. Then it goes to, again, actually, you think this is moving the dyad down by 2 semitones and going from an E chord here down to a D. I'm actually choosing to finger it with my first and second fingers. So I'm using the D on the open 4th string, the A at the 2nd fret on the 3rd string, and the D at the 3rd fret on the 2nd string. And now all of that is over an A bass note. Again, same picking pattern. From there, I'm just moving the fretted notes down by 1 fret, by 1 semitone, and also playing the 2nd fret on the 4th string, bringing in an E over the A bass note. So basically that's an A major 7 chord, but you've got an A, which is the 1st degree, E, which is the 5th, G sharp, which is the 7th degree, and C sharp there, which is the 3rd. So that's, again, it's a nice happy sounding major chord. Like I said, I want to give it this a majorish, a happier, more up sort of sound rather than something dark and minor. I play an awful lot of minor stuff, so sometimes it's nice to get out and just play something more major and happy. So that gives us the D over the A bass note down to an A major 7 over an A bass note. Yeah, sounds quite nice. And from that A major 7, I'm moving up to a B minor 7. Just play the middle 4 strings, but so you got the B is the 1st degree of the chord at the 2nd fret on the 5th string. Then you've got the F sharp, which is the 5th degree of the chord at the 4th fret on 4th string. Got the flat 7th degree of the chord, the A natural at the 2nd fret on the 3rd string, and the flat 3rd degree of the chord, the D natural there at the 3rd fret on the 2nd string. And then just moving that B minor 7 shape up by 2 semitones gets me to C minor 7. Gets me to a C sharp minor 7. Yeah, so that second part of the progression, we're going from a D5 over an A bass note to an A major 7, B minor 7, C sharp minor 7. And on that last chord, rather than playing the strumming pattern through, I'm just stopping on the flat 3rd degree there, so just let that last note ring out. So it gives us a progression, sounds like this. So there's a chord progression. You can take that, use it for what it is. You can treat it as an exercise, because that first section where you've got the stretch of the E5 chord over a C sharp bass note. So don't strain. make sure you're properly warmed up before you do this, but it's quite a nice little exercise for improving your reach over the fingerboard and being mindful of where your thumb is in relation to like where it is on the back of the neck. So in relation to your hand position, to give you that reach. But what I'd always encourage you to do is understand what it is that we're playing, and I guess most basic level you could just put it into a looper pedal and then play a solo over the top. But if you want to do that, you need to know what key you're playing in. Now, easiest way, I guess, to work out what key you're playing in is to just look at all the notes that are involved in the chords. So these are the chords that we've got in the progression and the notes that's within them. You kind of pull out all of the unique note names and lay them out in order, and we get this. Now, if you're a bit smart, you could figure out, if you knew all the musical keys, you just recognise those notes, and you say, all right, I know what key I'm playing in. However, if you're not as familiar, you might have to go to a tool like PhatPhish, dial in all the major keys. You can assume, based upon the sound of it, it's a major key we're playing in rather than a minor, because it's got a slightly happier sound rather than a sad one. But if you just look at those notes and look at the notes of every major scale, you dial it into PhatPhish and just go through each one and compare the notes, you'll eventually work out what key it is. But there's a few little tricks you can use to kind of accelerate that. And one good way to do that is to look at the chords that you're playing. And what's often a complete giveaway for what key you're playing in is adjacent major or adjacent minor chords. Because if you harmonise a major scale out in chords, let's just say we're with triads or 7 chords, we've got 1 major or 1 major 7, 2 minor, 2 minor 7, 3 minor, 3 minor 7, 4 major or 4 major 7, 5 major or 5 dominant 7, 6 minor or 6 minor 7, 7 diminished or 7 half diminished, or minor 7 flat 5. So if you look at that, the 2 and the 3 chords are always minor, and the 4 and the 5 chords are always majors. So looking for 2 adjacent chords of the same type, if you see 2 minor chords together, you know that the 2 and the 3 chords, you can work backwards to find the 1. Or if you see 2 major chords together, you can guess that the 4 and the 5, work backwards and find the 1 from that. Now in this progression, we're playing a B minor 7 and we're playing C sharp minor 7. So thinking about that, we can immediately say, well, 2 minor 7 chords together, they could be the 2 and the 3 chords. So if B is the 2, work back by 2 semitones gets us to A, mostly in the key of A major. And A major, well, that's probably right, because the chord before the B minor 7 was an A major 7. And then it all kind of fits together. You know, we started off on a C sharp, we started off on an F sharp power chord, an F sharp dyad, but it was over an A bass note, so A tonic note of the key kind of reinforces that. So it all kind of fits together. So now that you know what key it's in, you could play those chords, just into a looper pedal, and then just solo over the top of it. Using notes from the A major scale, and use this as a basis for practicing and getting familiar with improvisation. Don't just stay in that A major scale box. Find the notes of the scale in different positions around the neck. Like I always keep saying, use PhatPhish to help you if you're not that familiar with all the chord shape, all the scale shapes around the fingerboard. Fire up PhatPhish, dial in this case an A major scale, and it'll show you where the notes are. Or you could just take that progression and say, well, I know what key I'm playing in, so I can harmonise the A major scale out in chords. What other chords have I got available to me? And then kind of extend that and add different chords in, you know, possibly instead of going from an A major 7 to a C sharp minor 7 via a B minor 7. You can think, well, what other chords have I got available in the key? Well, I guess I've got a F sharp minor 7, so could I go? Yeah, just using other chords that you've got at your disposal that are diatonic to the key. Something to experiment with. Like I said, it's a rainy day today, so it seems like a nice rainy day activity. Learn a chord progression, get into it, experiment with it, improvise over the top of it, and just generally enrich your musical knowledge and your playing experience. Okay, that's all for now. Just a quick one today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please click like down there. If you really enjoyed it and you want to see other videos that I post onto the channel, then please click subscribe, also down there. If you want to leave a comment, you're welcome to, but I don't always see comments that are posted on YouTube videos. I've got too many videos on the channel now, and YouTube's rubbish at letting me know when people comment. So if you've got a specific question that you want to ask me, whether it's about music theory, playing guitar, guitar equipment, PhatPhish itself, anything like that, you're better off going here, filling that form in and sending your question in that way. I'm guaranteed to see it and I can respond to it in a future video. Okay, that's all for now. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.